Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this amazing travel website using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As you can see here on my computer screen, I have this one amazing travel landing page design. This is a travel landing page design. So now you can see I have this logo as a text, travel, and also we have this amazing nav bars. You can see there is some hover effect. Also we have this amazing button that says book now. And also in this button you can see there's an icon, and for that I'm going to show you how to put the icon. Also we have this background image, and we have this title that says look and feel the world. Also we have this amazing three cards, and you can see they also have amazing buttons and with the title and with image you can see. And also we can click in any card, and you can see there's some beautiful hover effect. So we'll create these three cards using the JavaScript. Also we have this amazing subscribe to newsletter, and also where you can put your email and subscribe now. Also we have this text again, the logo, travel, and also we have the copyright code mode 2022, and also we have these four social media icons where you can find us. So we'll create this amazing travel landing page design using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So before starting this video, kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share with your friends, because we are about to hit 3000 subscribers, and for that we'd like you to subscribe and share with your friends. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Hello guys, welcome back again. So here I have created one folder called travel landing page. Inside this folder you can see we have another folder called img. This is where I keep all the images, and also I will leave a link to download all these images so that you can follow up this tutorial. Also we have three other files, that is our HTML, our JS and our CSS. So we'll open this folder using our code editor, which is Visual Studio Code. So I'm gonna say open with code, and here you can see I have already written the basic index.html, the basic HTML structure. Also you can see I have a title called travel landing page. Also you can see there's this link that is style.css, and if we go to our style.css you can see we have nothing now, and also for our JavaScript we don't have anything right now. So before starting this we are going to add some few links. So I'm gonna say link. So here we need to add some font awesome. So I will go to this website called cdnjs.com. So here I'm going to search for font awesome, which is the first one, font awesome, this one. So I'm gonna choose the 6.6.2.1, okay, which is the first one, all mean.css. So simply copy URL and go back to your text editor, simply paste it here, and therefore we are set now. Simply we are going to save this now, and simply we are going to use our live server. So before using our live server, if you don't have this live server, it's just an extension that you can download from the extension. Here you can search live server and download, okay. Whenever you save, it automatically reloads your web page. So simply now let's start under the body. Here we are going to create one nav with no class, and under this nav you're going to create an anchor tag. For this one we're not going to give anything, and here we'll add our logo, which as a text, travel. Here we have added our logo as a text, which is travel. Simply save this file and simply start the go live. You click there and it will start the web page. Now you can see we have this port that is that it will run for our web page, and you can see we have our first logo, that is travel. So come back to your text editor. After this, creating this anchor tag, we'll create one div, and inside this div we are going to create our navs by using the anchor tag. And simply here I'm going to type home. Make sure it be there, use the capital letters, okay. Simply copy this and we paste it multiple times, and let's change our text, and here let's make it towards. We can change the text to towards, Also this one we can change to, maybe you can say blog, and here we can see, lastly you can say contact us. Simply save this, and now go back to your web page, and now you can see we have our navbars. Next we're going to add is, we need to create a button. So I'm going to create one button, sorry, no capital letters, one button, and then in this button we are going to add an icon. So by using the I tag, so inside the I tag we're going to add our class. So make sure, now this is where the help will come. You see this link called the font awesome, make sure you have this link, and I think I showed you how to download and how to get this link. So simply now we are going to add icons. By this we are going to add icons. So simply I'm going to type the class, which is far regular, and then we're going to add a bookmark. The icon is called bookmark, so I'm going to say far bookmark. So remember, this is a different class, okay? So here, sorry, it should be the I tag. Sorry, this should be here, okay? And simply here we're going to add our text, which is book now. Now we have added our button. Simply save your file, come back to your web page, reload. You can see, don't worry about reloading because we are using the live server and it will automatically reload for you. Now you can see we have the icon, that is the bookmark, and we have the text as book now. Next, after creating our button, we need to create another section where not a section, you can create a main, and in this main we are going to add our background image, which is the first image. As you can see, we have these 4 images, that is pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4. All these images I will leave it in the link description so that you can also download and follow up this tutorial. Now after this we need to, simply you don't need to alt. So after this, adding the image, we are going to add an h1 tag. Inside this h1 tag we're going to add a text that says look and feel the world. Feel the world. Now after adding, save your file, come back again to your web page, to your browser, and you can see we have the background image. As now you can see, because it looks bad because we haven't added any styling, and we have our text, look and feel the world. Also, after this main, we are going to create a section. Inside this section we are going to create one div with a class name card. Let me scroll up, and inside this class we're going to create another div with a class name card image, and here we need to create our 3 cards, okay? After this we'll add our img. This is the folder name, and we're going to choose the image, which is pic2. So after that we're going to add, after this creating this image, we need to add an h3 tag. So I'll use the h3 tag, and here I'm going to add my text called Italy. Also we need to give a class this h3 tag, and I'll give it a class called card title. So this is the title of this image, okay? After this we need to create a button. So I'll create a button with a class name, no class name actually. So I'm going to use the I tag again, dot. I'm going to create our icon. Here we'll add our icon. Then we're going to create another class, the bookmark again. Now also we can add our text that says book now. So this is our second button for this image and for this title. Now simply what we are going to do is we need to copy this whole card again, because we need to create another card. So I'll copy up to here, from the starting div up to the closing div. Here I'm going to add my second image. It will be pick 3, and here I'm going to say card active. So this will be the center, this card will be at the center, and it will be active. Okay, after this we're going to change our title. After this, again, let's paste it again, and we need to create our other class, which is, we first change the image to pick 3, then not pick 3, actually this is should be pick 4. Okay, this is our third image. So after this, also we're going to change our title to be, we're going to change our title. The button remains the same. Okay, simply save your file, refresh your web page, and you can see we have 3 different images, and these are the cards. Okay, you can see we have there plus the title, the button that says book now. So far we are creating this travel landing page design. So guys, before I go on, kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we are about to hit 3,000 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So let's continue. After this, come back to your text editor. So after here, we're going to link. Before linking our JavaScript, I want to add the styling. So let's go here, and simply we need a font to add our font for our creating this landing page. So for that, I'm going to search Google Fonts, and you can click the first link that says fonts.google.com, and here you can click the fonts, and here I'm going to choose my font, which is Novaround. So this is the Novaround, this is the font I want to use. So if you scroll all the way down, just scroll and see view all styles. As you can see, I've already picked mine, which is a regular 400. So you just click here, view selected fonts. The selected family, you can see, you can just scroll down because we need it in our style.css. Okay, so simply I'm going to copy this, import, and go back to your text editor. Where is your style.css is where you're going to copy this link, and there you go. You got your fonts to use for this web page. Now next, we are going to, so there we got our fonts. So kindly save that for now. Now come back to your index.html. After this, we're going to create a footer. Inside this footer, we'll add an h2 tag that says subscribe to newsletter. Subscribe to newsletter. Also, we need to add an input and label. So the type is going to be email. Also, the name, we don't need a name, so I'm actually going to add a placeholder. The placeholder will be email. After this input, we need to add a button, and for the button, we're going to use a span tag that says subscribe now. After this, we need to create a div tag. So I'll create one div with no class, and inside this div, we're going to add our anchor tag again, and here we'll add our logo as a text, which is travel. Also, after this, we need to create our social media icons, but before doing that, we need to add a paragraph by using the p tag, and for this one, we'll add a copyright that says copy. And here you can just add my channel name, Conmo 2022. Simply, we are going to add a style here for now, and I'm going to choose a color. So for my color, I will choose this color, EDC18D. So after this, we need to add our social media icons. So for that, I'm going to create another div, and inside this div we're going to add an anchor tag. Inside this anchor tag we're going to create the I class I tag, and then here is where we're going to add our icons, and I'll say far brands, and here we need to add a Facebook icon. So I'll just again dot that. By using this dot, you're going to create another class. Okay, so we're going to create the Facebook icon, Facebook, and there you go. If we save this now and go back to our browser, now you can see it automatically reloads your web page. Wait until it reloads. You can just scroll all the way down and see if we got the Facebook icon. You can see we have our newsletter, we have the copyright here, and we got a color for it. Remember, we added a style on this, okay, and also we got our button subscribe. So for this one, social media icons, we need to create more social media icons. Okay, just simply copy this. Simply you're going to change the text from here. So for this one, I'm going to add an Instagram, and this one I'm going to change to maybe, let's say, Pinterest. And lastly, I'm going to say LinkedIn. Simply save your file, and now you can see we got our 4 icons, social media icons. So next, you can see, let's go back to our browser. You can see this web page doesn't look good, so we are going to add some styling to make it beautiful. Okay, so let's add CSS styling. I'm just simply organizing my codes. So now go to your style.css. Now we are going to start with the basic. For the basic, I'm going to say margin to be 0 and also padding to be 0. Also, we'll add a font family, the one we imported, and I'm going to say Novaround, and I'm going to use serif. Now let's style our body. We need a background color to add for this web page. I'm going to say background color, and here I'm going to add my background color. Now simply let's save this, go back to your browser, and now you can see we got this amazing background color everywhere. Okay, you can see we got the background color, which we cannot see even our logo or our nav bars. Okay, simply now come back to your style.css. Now for the body again, I mean for the nav, let's style our nav, and here I'm going to say display to be flex. Also we'll add a justify content to be space between. Next we'll add align items to be center. Also we're going to add a padding of 2 rem by 3 rem. Okay, 3 rem. Okay, next we're going to say nav again. Use this arrow, and I'm going to say the anchor tag. Then also for our footer, the div. So this include all the divs and all the anchor tags we have. Okay, and here I'm going to say I'm going to add font size of 1.7. Also we'll add a display to be flex direction, column, align items, center, color, text decoration to be, should be text decoration to be none. And lastly, we're going to add font family, Novaround, and for this one I'm going to say to be cursive. Simply save your file, and go back to your web browser, and you can see now we have our logo. Next, we need to style this nav and the button. Okay, so come back to your text editor. Again, I'm going to say nav, and here I'm going to add font size of 3.5. Next, I'm going to say nav div, and here I'm going to add position to be relative. Also, we'll add margin of 0 by 1.5 rem. Also, we need to add color, text decoration to be none, and font size to be 1.2. Next is our nav again, and then div, and also for our anchor tag, and here I'm going to use the before, and here I'm going to say content. Also, we need to add height of 1 pixel and width of 100%. Also, we need to add a position to be absolute. Also, we add left 0, and we need to add bottom 0. Also, we'll add background color B7 9 BF2. Next, I'm going to say transform, translate, or we can use the scale X, which is okay, and I'm going to say 0. I'm going to give it a value of 0. Also, we need to add a transform origin. I will say left. Transition. For my transition, I'm going to use transform 0.3 seconds. I want it to be is in out. Simply save your file. Let's see if there's any changes, and now you can see we got our nav items. Come back to your text editor again. We're going to say nav. Here I'm going to add an hover effect on our nav items. Also, we're going to use the before, and I'm going to say transform scale X 0, or we can just give it a value of 1. Next is our button. For the button, I'm going to say position to be relative. Also, we'll add overflow to be hidden, padding 0.8 rem by 1.3. Also, we'll add border 3 pixel solid, and we'll add a color. Next, I'm going to say background color to be transparent. Also, we need to add a text transform, which is going to be uppercase, font weight of 600, cursor to be pointer. Also, I'm going to say display to be flex again, and transition color 0.3 seconds. And lastly, I'm going to add color. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser. Now you can see we have our button, but we need to add something else for this button. And so I'm going to say button again. I'm going to use the before, and I'm going to say content, height to be 100%. Also, we'll add a width of 100%, position to be absolute, left and bottom to be 0. Also we'll add background color. Next I'm going to use the transform scale X. I'm going to give it a value of 0. Also we'll add a transform origin and I will say left. Next I'm going to add transition, transform 0.3 second is in out. And lastly we are going to add a Z index of -1. Next I need to add a hover effect on this button, so I'm going to say hover and I'm going to use the before again, and we're going to say transform scale X and the value will be 1. Again say button hover, for this one I'm going to use color, then I'm going to give it a color white to be not important. Just remove that. Now simply save your file, refresh your web page, and now you can see we got our amazing button. Still the icon is not okay, so for that I'm going to change it. So let's go back again. So here I'm going to say button and we're going to style our I tag. So I'm going to say margin right to be 0.6 rem. Also we are going to add a font size of 1.2 rem, and lastly we're going to add a color. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, and now you can see we got our icon, and you can see there's some beautiful hover effect. And also for our navs you can see there's some beautiful hover effect. So for our header we are done. So simply next we're going to edit is our main section. So I'm going to say position to be relative. Also we're going to add an height of, using the calc, 100 view height minus 165 pixel. Also we'll add an overflow to be hidden. Next again say main img. So we're going to edit our background image. For this one I'm going to say the position to be absolute. Also we're going to say object fit to be cover. Also we'll add a width of 100% and height of 100%. Next I'm going to say object position to be center. Okay. Simply save your file, come back to your web browser, and now you can see we got our image. You can see for this is another image. So you can see from here we have our image is at the center and it's the object fit is cover. Okay. Now next we need to edit is our cards. So before doing that I'm going to use the after here, and I'm going to say content, and then I'm going to use width of 100%. Also the height will be 200 pixel. Next we'll add position to be absolute. Also we'll add bottom and left to be 0. Next I'm going to say content again, don't add anything. So here I'm going to add background image, and for the background I'm going to use the linear gradient, and I'm going to say to top to be, I'm going to use the RGBA color. So here I'm going to add my values 239, 239, 239, then I'm going to say 255. Again add another one. So for this one I'll say 239 again, 239, comma 239 comma 0. So next is I'm going to style my h1 tag. For the h1 tag here, I'm going to say position to be relative. So remember we added a title that says look and feel the world. Okay, so for that one, that's our h1 tag. So here I'm going to say margin to be 140 pixel. Also we'll add color. Next I'm going to add font size of 5 rem, and lastly I'm going to add font family, which is Nova round. And again I'm going to make it cursive. Simply save this. Now go back to your web page, and now you can see we have this title, look and feel the world, at the center of this image. So next we need to style our cards. So it's under the section. So first of all I'm going to style my section, and I will say display to be flex. Also we'll add padding of 50 pixel. Next we'll add display to be flex. Justify content to be center. Next is our class card. For this class I'm going to add a width of 300 pixel. Also we'll add a margin 0 by 30 pixel. Text align to be center. Position to be relative. Also we'll add cursor to be pointer, and padding bottom we're going to say 20 pixel. Also we'll add transition to be all 0.3 seconds. Next is our card again, card active. Here I'm going to add a background color to be white. Also we need to add box shadow 0.7 pixel, 15 pixel, and lastly I'm going to say 5 pixel, and I'm going to add a color. Transform, translate y. Okay, so for this one I'm going to add 50 pixel. Also we'll add a color lastly. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, let's scroll, and you can see we have our 3 images. Okay, so still this the third image, there's a problem with the third image. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. Next, come back again. So after this you are going to say card again, and this time I'm going to say dot active, then dot card, our second class is the image, card image, and I'm going to use the before, comma, again say card active. Let's just remove this. Okay, so you have 2 classes here. Okay, again the third class is with card image after. Open your curly braces, and here I'm going to say display to be none. Next is our class again, card dot active, and here we're going to edit our buttons under that cards. Okay, under those cards, and simply we're going to add a color, and we're going to add a border color. Next is our card again active, and for our button here we need to add some hover effect. So but before doing that we're going to use the before, and I'm going to say background color to be. After this again let's come to our card image. Let me just make it go down. So for this class, I want the position to be relative, and also I'm going to add height and width of 450 pixel, and the width is going to be 100%. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, and now you can see we have our images, okay, our 3 buttons. So you might think it's not adding up, but don't worry, you're still styling. So come back to your text editor again, and here I'm going to say again card image before, comma, card image after. For content, I'm going to leave it blank. Next, we'll add background image, and I'm going to use the linear gradient to bottom, comma, and here I'm going to use my RGBA. So I'm going to say 239, comma, 239, comma, 239, comma, 255. Again say comma, 239, comma, 239, 0. Or let's not make it, let's make it 185, this one. And maybe you can do this 135. And lastly, this one you can do maybe 135 also, and 0. After this, we need to position. So I'm going to say position to be absolute. Also, we'll add height of 200 pixel. Next, I'm going to add top 0, right to be 0, also left to be 0. Next, again say card image after, okay. Here I'm going to add background image, linear gradient, and I'm going to say to top. And simply what I'm going to do is we're going to paste this, all this, okay. So simply copy this, so we need to change the values for the second one. So here I'm going to make it the same as this one, okay. But we are going to change the last value here, so I'm going to say here 0. Okay, so after adding that, we need to say bottom to be 0. Also, we are going to say top to be inherit. So simply save your file, and let's see if there's any changes on our landing page. And now you can see still we have no changes, so simply go back again. Again, we're going to say the card image, and here I'm going to style my images, okay, my 3 images that I have. So I'm going to say width to be 100%. Also, we'll add height of 100%. And lastly, I'm going to say object fit to be cover. Next is our card title. For the card title, I'm going to add a font family, Novaround. Again, I'm going to say cursive. We're going to add font size. The font size is going to be 2 rem. Also, we'll add a margin 20 pixel by 0. Also, we need to add color, and for the color, I'm going to choose this one. Next is our button. So I'm going to say card, then button. This one I'm going to say margin to be auto. Also, we'll add lastly margin top to be negative 20 pixel. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, and now you can see we have our 3 images with their text and the title. and now you can see we can hover it. Still there's a problem. This image should be the active one, okay? But don't worry, we're going to do that. We're going to correct that one. Next is our footer. So I'm going to say footer, and we're going to add padding of. So for this one should be like this, but you see it can't hold it, okay? So for these cards, we're going to add a JavaScript. You're going to use the JS in order to click and get this background light, okay? So let's simply continue. Now here we are going to add a padding of 40 pixels under the footer, and also we're going to give it a text align to be center. Also we'll add margin top to be 100 pixel. Also lastly we're going to say padding bottom to be 0. Next I'm going to say footer for my h2 tag, and here I'm going to add a font size of 3.5. Also we'll add font family, nova round, so this should be capital, okay? And again it's going to be cursive. Next we're going to say margin bottom to be 30 pixel, and lastly I'm going to add color. Next is we need to edit our input, so I'm going to say footer input, comma, and again say footer, and this is going to be button, open curly braces, margin to be auto. Also we'll add a width of 60%. Next I'm going to say display to be block. Also we'll add margin top to be 10 pixel. Also we're going to add border to be none. Also we need to add a border radius. For border radius I'm going to say 0 also. And next we are going to add is padding 0.8 rem by 1.3. Next we'll add, say, outline to be none, font size to be 1.2. Next I'm going to say box sizing to be border box. Next again say footer button. For this button we're going to say position to be relative, and also we need to add a background color, and I'm going to add a color here. That's my background color, and also we'll add color, not column, color to be white. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, scroll all the way down, and now you can see we have the subscribe to our newsletter. Also we have in this input that says subscribe now. Excuse me. Now you can see we have the subscribe now. There should be hover effect. So next let's add this button hover effect, okay? So I'm going to say footer again, button, and I'm going to use the span. So position is going to be relative. Also we need to add a z index of negative of 4. Next I'm going to say footer button before. Here we're going to add a background color, and the z index is going to be 3. Now simply save your file, come back to your web browser, still there's nothing. Next let's say footer div. I'm going to say display to be flex. Also we'll add justify content to be center, not center actually, we can say space between, align items to be center, and margin top to be 50 pixel. Next I'm going to say footer div again, and our anchor tag. So I'm going to add padding 0.6 rem by 1 rem. After this, we'll add a background color, which is going to be white. Also, we'll add font size 1.2. Next, we need to add is border radius of 50 rem. Also, we'll add color. Next, I'm going to add transition. I'm going to say all 0.3 second. Again, say footer, div, we are going to use the before, and here we need to add color to be white. Also, we'll add background color. So now simply save your file, go back to your web browser, and now let's try to hover this button. Still there's nothing, okay? But you can see we have our copyright, and also we have also this button, there should be hover effect. You can see there's nothing. So come back to your text editor. I think we are forgetting something, so let's just go all the way up where the button says button, and here is where the problem is. We have the before first, the position is going to be relative, of course, and we have this one position relative also. So this is the input, and we have the button, okay? So I think we have nothing wrong here, and I think let's just add maybe JavaScript, and there will be changes, okay? But I'll correct it before I end this video. So simply we are going to, this is the script.js. Simply we are going to connect our script.js to HTML, okay? That's how you connect your JavaScript to HTML. Simply save this file. Now go back to your script.js, and here I'm going to create const cards. So for this one, you're only adding because of the cards, okay, the JavaScript. So I'm going to say array dot, I'm going to use the from, open bracket, and I'm going to say document dot query selector all, and I'm going to add my class, which is dot card. Make sure to close this, okay? So I'm going to say cards dot for each. I'm going to use for each function, and again open another bracket inside, and we're going to use the C equal or greater, okay? Open curly braces, and I'm going to say C dot add event listener. I'm going to add an event listener, so I'm going to say add event listener, and here is where we'll add a click, comma, open bracket. So for this one, I'm going to say cards dot for each again, C equal or greater, and I'm going to say C dot class list, okay? I'm going to use the class list dot remove, and I'm going to add my class, which is active. Simply close that with semicolon. Again say class list C dot class list dot toggle, and I'm going to use active again and close that. Also make sure to close this with semicolon, and also this one. Simply save your file, come back to your web browser, and now still there's no changes. Now let's just start from the app, okay? As you can see, our logo is okay. We got our navbars with some beautiful hover effects, and also the button is working well. Next is our background image, and we have this title, look and feel the world. Also we have our three cards here. Still you can see there's no effect. So whenever we click, it should bring up. Okay, so now let's go back again to our this here. So guys, I think now we need to correct our problem, because let's go back again to our web page, our landing page. Now you can see everything is okay up here, and also there's something wrong with our buttons. As you all can see, we didn't add any border radius. Also this image, after adding the JavaScript, there's still a problem. And also this button, there should be hover effect. So for that, I'm going to change here. So let's go to our style.css. Let's start from up, where we have the buttons. So here I'm going to, where is our button? Here I'm going to add we are going to add a border radius of 50 rem. Now save this, go back to your web browser, and now you can see, if we go back, you can see we have our button with border radius. Next we need to correct is our card. This card should be active. Okay, and if we scroll up all the way down here under the cards, this is not shouldn't be active. It should be dot active, because this class is active. If we go back to our index.html, and you can see we have the second card, there is a class called active. That's why we need to make it dot active. Okay, and now just save your file, come back to your web page, and now you can see it's okay. Let's tap this. If we click this button, you can see we have this amazing background and color. Okay, hover effect. Okay, this is the use of JavaScript. Now you can just click our cards, and you can see they look amazing. Next is our newsletter. For this button, there should be hover effect. So for that, scroll all the way down. Simply we are going to here remove the, not actually, we are going to remove the before, and we are going to make it active. Okay, I mean hover, sorry, hover. Now save your file, come back to your web page. Now let's try to hover it. Okay, this button, simply refresh again. Should be hover. Okay, the background color is this one. It takes some time. Okay guys. Okay, now save again. You can see these social media icons, there's some hover effects. Also this one should work, because I think we have the same color, the same background color. So what I'm going to do is, we are going to change this one, I mean the first one, this one, the before. Here I'm going to add another color. Maybe we can say 0 AB 1A 0. Okay, now we are going to see different color. So this color and this color, they're not the same. Okay, plus this one, they are different colors. Now go back. Now let's try to hover effect. You can see there is hover effect coming from right, I mean coming from left. Okay, now you can also, there's some beautiful hover effect on our social media icons. Also we have our logo, travel, and we have our copyright. Now simply let's go back again, and here is now we finished our tutorial creating this amazing travel landing page design using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now let's go through. Here is our text as a logo. We have this logo as a text, travel, and we have our numbers, and you can see there's some amazing hover effect on these nav items. Also, we have this amazing button that says book now, and also there's some mobile effect on this button. Next we have is our background image. For our background image, you can see we have a title, look and feel the world. Okay. Next, if we scroll, we have 3 cards here for different card travels. We can call it card travels. Okay. And you can see in different countries. Okay. And it also has a button that says book now. Also, we have subscribe to newsletter, and you can see this newsletter. So let me just change this text to be capital N. Okay. Where it says travel newsletter, which is okay. So lastly, we have the travel logo again, and we have the copyright code more, and also we have these social media icons, and you can see there's some beautiful over effect on these social media icons. So that was all for today's tutorial, and now that I have showed you how to create an amazing travel landing page design using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, if you enjoyed this video and if you think this video was very helpful, kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we are about to hit 3,000 subscribers. Kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, and also for those who want the source code, I'm going to upload the source code and for this video in the link video description. So make sure to download the source code if you want for your tutorial or for your own practice. So that was all for today's tutorial. Thank you for enjoying this video and watching this video. Now till next time, bye.